Hey guys, Tire Rack has a new daily driver. The RC four-wheel drive Mickey Thompson, what is it? Baja MTZ P3. So I was doing some thinking about what should a baseline tire be. Tire Rack is getting some winter maintenance. Along with that winter maintenance are some changes. And I thought maybe one of those changes should be his tires. Because historically, Tire Rack has used the Duratrax Fossil is his daily driver, is his, quote, baseline tire, if you will. But I started thinking about it. And I think a baseline tire should be an RTR tire. And I started thinking, what is an RTR tire that would be a decent baseline tire? An RTR tire that would be fair to compare all tires up against. And if they don't do at least as good as this RTR tire, then they should probably be avoided. And the Baja MTZ is what I came up with. Now, the Baja MTZ, you might not regard it as an RTR tire, but it does in fact come on the C2X, which is a ready-to-run crawler from RC four-wheel drive. Yeah, that's the only tire, or the only rig it comes on. But to be fair, most of their other rigs are little class 1, class 0 rigs. So, I think it's fair. It is an RTR tire. And the nice thing is you can buy this aftermarket. You can buy this tire. What? Do I have some leaves in the drivetrain or something? Yeah, we did. I was hearing some weird noises. You can buy this tire from RC four-wheel drive, and I'll post a link below, but it's pretty affordable. I think this one is in their $25 a pair range. Just as with the Fossils inside of the MTZs, I'm running CI foams, softs up front, mediums in rear. These are little Novas. These are wides because this is a wider tire, and they are 4.5 inch height on the inner foam rather than 4.75 like I ran on the Fossils. This video is not really a review of the MTZ. I've already done a review of the MTZ. We're just kind of driving around, running through the course, putting the MTZ through its paces again, putting some more time on them, as I'll have to do off camera quite a bit to make sure that I'm familiar with this tire and how it performs. And I basically, oh man, what is, hang on a minute. I'm getting bit or poked by something. Anyway, I need to establish a basically memory of how this tire performs on every obstacle so that I can compare things up against it. The sun is setting. I was getting ready to head home and I figured, let's do one last drive for the day. And heck, I'm out here and have the camera. Got enough battery left for another video, so let's go ahead and make a video out of it. The Baja MTZ did not run this obstacle when it was reviewed because this obstacle didn't exist. So it'll be interesting to see how it does here. And again, the point of the daily driver for Tire Rack is not the best tire out there. It is what is kind of like the minimum threshold that a tire should meet to be considered a good tire. So the MTZ will stay on Tire Rack for as long as it's relevant until I find a better RTR tire to replace it with. And it will have to be an RTR tire. I have decided that Tire Rack from now on will run RTR tires, or until the MTZ is unobtainable. Ooh, that's not great. Another obstacle that the MTZ has not run. I've got myself in a little predicament here. I'm going to reset. I'm not sure if that was me or tire. I believe I drove that improperly, but I'm not 100% sure. And Tire Rack will actually have two. Okay, I like that it's hesitating there. because I don't want the daily driver of Tire Rack to be so good. I'm not going to make the daily driver like an upgrade Rock Claw because I don't want it to be so good that other tires can't live up to it. And if my reviews were about finding the best tire on the market, that's what I would do. But they're not about finding the best tire on the market. They're about looking at each tire as an individual. But part of looking at a tire as an individual is it at least as good as the baseline? But Tire Rack has two baseline tires. He's got a baseline crawling tire and a baseline trail tire. Previously, that baseline trail tire was also the Duratrax Fossil. But now his his baseline trail tire is another RTR tire. And it is surprisingly, we are out pushing our steering there because I really need to clean up. We got some issues. Got some issues with sticks. Got some issues going on off camera apparently. It's the Cross RC Mud Crawler, a tire I was pleasantly surprised with by its performance on the rocks, but especially surprised with by its performance on the trails. Because I believe that tire is in a compound that will last for a very long time. And it did very well. Has good mud traction, good sand traction, good loose surface traction, and it's pretty okay at rock crawling. So those are Tire Rack's new baseline tires. And they will be his baseline tires. I thought about maybe trying to do like a tire of the year kind of a thing. And we'll do a new baseline every year, but I'm not going to do it that way. It will keep its baselines until they're either dethroned or irrelevant because you can't get them anymore. Because obviously, if I'm saying this is a baseline tire, and you for some reason want to run that baseline, I want you to be able to get it. And I want you to be able to actually get it. Like, I don't want to say, well, it's still obtainable because, you know, some people still have backstock that they sell on eBay or something. Like, I want you to be able to go to the manufacturer's website or go to A-Main or somewhere like that. I want you to be able to go to either a reseller or to the source and be able to buy these tires right away. Another thing I really enjoy about the MTZ is its size. It's just short for a Class 2 at about 4.6 inches tall. And I really like that size tire. I really like that size tire for a portal rig. And here's a little hint. I'm not saying that Tire Rack is going to be a portal rig, but I'm flirting with the idea of it. I'm flirting with the idea of making it a mullet, a portal rig, or doing nothing. I'm undecided right now. And part of me kind of thinks, especially now since we have Tire Rack 2, and he's a portal rig, that I shouldn't have Tire Rack be a portal rig. I think that thought process makes sense. But also, the spirit of Tire Rack is for it to be a mostly RTR rig that features some basic upgrades that anybody with an RTR rig might do. Upgrades that don't take a lot of money, upgrades that don't take a lot of skill, upgrades that don't really require fabrication, stuff like that. And with the availability of good portal axles that are under $100 now, to where you don't have to spend $200 or $250 to put portals on a rig, I kind of feel like that might be a go-to upgrade for a lot of people. So that's why I'm even considering it. Tire Rack does technically have aftermarket axles on him now. He's got SSD Diamond Pros, which, Diamond Pros are about $50 a piece for the front and rear. Mias portal axles are $80 for, I didn't get a significant portion of that on camera, or about $80 to $90 for a set. There's brass available for the front and rear on these SSD Diamond Pros. They have brass on the front and rear. There's brass available for the Mias front and rear. So if he gets portals, they're going to be Mias. But again, I'm undecided. Maybe let me know below what you think. If you think he should run portals, if you think he should stay with straights. And try to approach it with the spirit of Tire Rack, not so much on what your preference with portals or straights is, because, ooh, not a good hang up. I didn't get the good hang up. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Because we all have our preferences, and I go back and forth on what my preference is. Like, I like portals, I like straights, I like rock crawlers. But in the spirit of Tire Rack, like I said, a RTR rig, or a mostly RTR rig that has some minor upgrades. And again, I'm using minor in the sense that individually, they don't cost a ton of money. They're easy to do. They don't require fabrication. They don't require a lot of knowledge. Do you think I should do portals? Do you think portals would be too unfair for reviewing tires? Do you think portals would make our course too easy? One difficulty that I can see is, you know, man, coming off here. There we go. As of today, right now, November 11th, 2005, I've got around 70 videos uploaded, most of which are tire reviews. Would putting portals on Tire Rack negate all those tire reviews? What if a tire would have done better if it had portals? I don't know. We might have to, if we do portals, we might have to start doing some revisited videos. Not opposed to that either. So, I don't know what the future holds for Tire Rack in his axles. But sometime this winter, when we're replacing his Fusion Pro with a Holmes 2-in-1 so that we can run 4S. And yes, I'm aware that the Fusion Elite is coming out someday, and it can run 4S. I have a Holmes 2-in-1 on one of my other rigs on Tire Rack 2, and so far I really like it. The Holmes 2-in-1 is currently available, and the Holmes 2-in-1 is available in 1800 kV, ooh, which I really like. I think 1800, even with portals, I think 1800 will be the sweet spot for Tire Rack, because 1200, with a 1200 kV motor, to get the wheel speed that I want, kind of the minimum wheel speed that I want, I'm kind of on the biggest pinion that I can really run with the Stealth XF. And with the 2300, to get the wheel speed that I want without it being too fast, I'm kind of on the smallest pinion I can run on the Stealth XF. So I think even with portals, I think the 1800 will be kind of the sweet spot for tuning. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, 4S will give him some added punch as well. But again, I can do a lot more with pinion tuning with an 1800 kV motor than I can with a 12 or a 23 for how I like to drive. I want there to be enough wheel speed for tire reviews so that if I decide to do a trail review of a tire on more than our short little trail course there, we have the wheel speed to do it. To where if I decide to take our Hobby Soul paddle tires to a sand dune, to where I have the wheel speed to do it. But it is a crawler, not a basher, so we want to keep that in mind. But anyway, guys, that's what's to come for Tire Rack. Right now, we're going to call it a day. We're going to finish packing up. We're going to head home, see the kids, have dinner with the wife and kids. And till next time, everybody, have a good one.